To understand the evolution of feminism from first to second wave, we need to look at the birth of critical theory. Critical theory emerged from the intellectual collective known as the Frankfurt School. They began their mission in 1923 with the establishment of the Institute for Social Research at the University of Frankfurt. Initially, founder Felix Weil and director Karl Grunberg, along with fellow orthodox Marxists, tasked themselves with making Marxism a viable alternative economic system to rival capitalism. But from 1930, under new director Max Horkheimer, the focus shifted to an examination of the culture out of which capitalism flourishes, in order to subvert it to accommodate Marxism. Thus, critical theory was established. The group moved its activities to the US in 1933 in response to the rise of Hitler, to become associated with the University of Columbia in New York. Here, Erich Fromm pioneered the marriage of Marxist theory with Freudian theory and characterized the family, which they rightly identified as the building blocks of capitalist society, as repressive and pathological. Herbert Marcuse's Eros and Civilization was published in 1955, in which a society based on free love and no work that liberated the human natures that he felt were being repressed by capitalist society was proposed. This book was a major channel through which neo-Marxist ideas fed into various liberation movements in the 1960s, including, of course, feminism. Of feminism, Marcuse claimed that the women's liberation movement is perhaps the most important and potentially the most radical political movement that we have. Close quote. Marcuse's sentiments were echoed by Shulamith Firestone, founder of the Red Stockings Collective, who published The Dialectic of Sex in 1970, another utopian, or dystopian depending on your perspective, radical classic that argued that the domination of men as a sex class over women as a sex class or underclass was based in biology, which needed to be overcome through advances in medical science that would liberate women from the barbaric practice of childbirth. She held the nuclear family, which she labelled a tyranny, in contempt, and advocated for rationally constructed, non-permanent bonding relationships between people who voluntarily undertook their upbringing, in which the dependence of the child on the mother and vice versa would give way to a greatly shortened dependence on a small group of others in general. Close quote. Kate Millett's sister recollected a consciousness-raising group that she attended with Kate in the New York of 1969. It opened with a back-and-forth recitation. "Why are we here today? To make revolution. What kind of revolution? The cultural revolution. And how do we make the cultural revolution? By destroying the American family. How do we destroy the family? By destroying the American patriarch." It goes on, but you get the gist. Feminism became the leading vanguard in the subversion and desecration of a comparatively decent, prosperous civilization. Their battle in this culture war was the decimation